Gentlemen, how we doing?
Hello.
We've got Guy. Who's this sat next to me?
This is what could we describe him as other than the tallest Australian I've ever met in my life?
I saw you call me flavorless in the last episode.
I think that's a perfect description.
Very vanilla.
That is well, you can't smell and you can't taste, but what you do have incredible palate for is golf equipment.
Oh, thank you. How kind.
Well, that's what we hope anyway. And I think after your trip to the PGA show in Orlando, you are armed with more knowledge that you know what to do with. So, guys, welcome to the new Friday kind of spin-off show of the main podcast. We're going to aim to do a really cool little section on Fridays that's going to be very, very equipment-based. So if you love your golf equipment and you love the Hit channel, this is the home to... This is what you want to listen to just before your big round of golf at the weekend. It might be payday. You might be nipping to the pro shop thinking, you know what? I need to go and spend some money this weekend. I need to know what to buy. Well, hopefully this podcast is going to educate you to what to buy, what to avoid, what to check out, what's up and coming, and maybe even a little walk down memory lane now and again.
I like that.
Before we get into it, though, I've got a bone to pick with Ben, but not our Ben. There we go. There we go. Drum roll, please. We posted on the Facebook group, so the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast Facebook group, that this Friday Hit podcast was launching. We used to have the clubhouse, and due to commitments, it got a bit hard to continue doing. But we have
Due to legal reasons.
Due to legal reasons, we have committed to hosting this podcast every single Friday. There might be some weeks where Rick is away gallivanting all over the planet. We will still be here, even if it's 10, 15, 20-minute segments about some golf gear. So I posted on the group saying about this, asking some questions, which we've got some great questions. But Ben Butler, I'm going to call him out right now. Ben Butler had quite a fair comment. He said, I give it 3 episodes and then you'll give up.
Wow. That's a fair... We're doing well if we get to 3 episodes.
Well, we are committed to proving Ben wrong. So for this new Ben is going to inspire us to ensure we defeat the negative Ben on the Facebook group.
Every time we question about doing a Friday special podcast, we're doing it for Ben.
Yeah.
We are going to think, right, are we going to do it? We're doing it for Ben Butler.
Yeah.
And
Butters.
Ben, I'm on your side here. You know, I was in your shoes. This is a full circle moment for me. I was once in the car driving to work on a Friday going, where is my episode?
We really?
Where is it? Where is it? But now I'm here.
We probably shouldn't have forced you to do that, Ben. On a Friday, you shouldn't have been forced to drive around and listen to the podcast. But no, Ben's been with us now for how long, Ben?
Nearly 2 years just in the summer. It'll be 2 years.
Travelled the world filming all of our fantastic content last year, but now that the Hit channel is booming bigger than ever, we had over 3 million views in the month of January alone with all the new driver releases, etc. Ben's new role as Hit channel manager has allowed us to explore the world of golf equipment more. It streamlined our processes. Instead of brands now emailing me and Guy, they email Ben and make sure that we are equipped with the latest and greatest equipment. Obviously, I've been still reviewing pretty much most things. Guy's been pretty much reviewing a lot of things that are coming through. And even Ben has had a little bit of a cameo on the Hit channel the last few weeks.
Jeez, it's pretty nerve-wracking. I got a lot more respect for you guys now after doing that. It's pretty...
Well, that's a change because you normally have 0 respect. You are disrespectful, actually.
In a respectful way, I hope. And disrespectful in a respectful way.
So, Ben, lead us off. What are we talking about today?
I've got a few topics. I think we're going to come to the PGA show in a bit, but I wanted to talk firstly about some news. You know, a bit of background just quickly on me. I've only been into, golf for just over probably 2 years now. So news like this, I'm interested to pick your brains. If this is something, I think in my time, I've probably seen it once in 2 years. Wherever if you guys have seen it a bit more, I'm interested to know. I'll give you the headline. TaylorMade are suing Callaway.
Oh, look at this. Ben has been on the podcast for what? How long? It's not even been 6 minutes.
I'm bringing the beef.
And Ben is dropping these grenades in the golf world.
That's the title sorted. That is the podcast title sorted. TaylorMade sue Callaway.
You're welcome.
Done. Well done, Ben.
Talk us through it.
I'm going to read it to you directly because I don't want to misquote anything
Well, no,
legally.
not for legal, obviously.
Of course not.
Do we need to sign something? I'm a bit scared going into this world.
But it's interesting. I think
Next podcast, TaylorMade Callaway sue Rick Shiels.
Blame Ben.
first and last episode for me. Goodbye, guys.
Ben Butler would be right.
Yeah, it would be.
Get Ben Butler in. Replace this Ben with the real Ben.
Yeah,
Ben
I'll
Butler.
be out. In you come, Ben Butler.
Right, come on, let's hear it.
Okay, so obviously the only instance I've seen of this before is TaylorMade going after Kirkland for the P790s and their sort of the Kirkland signature irons, right?
Yeah.
That's the only sort of other example I've seen of this. So let me read this to you. In a lawsuit filed this month, TaylorMade alleged Callaway had engaged in a coordinated, that's the key word there, marketing campaign to mislead consumers and retailers based on nothing more than how balls appear under UV light. TaylorMade alleges that other Callaway sales reps have made the same misleading sales pitch and overemphasized the relevance of UV light on the paint coating coverage on a golf ball and its performance, And they basically called TaylorMade mud balls because of how they look under UV light.
All right.
So the paint on the golf balls will react differently to UV light depending on the paint used.
Who's calling who mudball?
Callaway salespeople are calling TaylorMade mud balls.
So, can I give it? Let's do a little role play. I work for Callaway. My name is Brian Callaway, and I'm a sales rep in Nevada.
Okay.
And I go into the pro shop. Rick, you're the pro. Hi, Rick.
Hi,
I'm English.
Brian.
I
Good
am
to see you
English,
again.
by the way. Now, I know you're a big
Me
stockist.
too.
I know you're a big stockist of TaylorMade golf balls.
I love the TaylorMade golf balls.
Well, I'm not surprised because a lot of people come in asking for the ball that Rory plays, etc. So you do sell a lot of them. However, obviously, us at Callaway, we want to show you a little thing you don't know about.
Okay, show me.
Give me your balls. Yeah, thank you very much.
I'll get them.
Well, they're small than I thought. That's a TaylorMade golf ball,
Need a
TP5.
magnifying glass, never mind a UV light. Right, go on. I'll give you my balls.
So you've got your TP5 ball that you sell a
Yeah,
lot of.
yeah.
I'm going to get my little wand out, my little UV wand, spray it, because show it. See how dirty that is? It's quite dirty under that light, isn't it?
You mean you're showing me the pooling of paint that is in the dimples within the TaylorMade golf ball?
Dirty, right? Let me get you my ball out my sack. Look how clean that is. Look how fresh that is. Don't sell any more TaylorMade. Buy more of our golf balls. Push Callaway. Am I right? Is that this?
That's exactly right. I was going to try find an image here, and maybe for people.
It's the pooling of paint, isn't it?
It is, and they basically say the two balls look different under UV light. And even though TaylorMade are saying that has no significance over the performance of the golf ball at all, Callaway themselves are not saying this, but their sales reps have been caught sort of saying, "Oh, see this how the UV light is reflecting off the ball is basically
It's bad for performance.
is bad for performance,"
consistency.
and calling it a mud ball.
It's
Wow.
Again, we actually got shown this in a presentation from one of the brands, but I feel like I thought it was the other way around. I felt like TaylorMade showed us this, and they showed us Callaway balls. Am I wrong in that?
You got your balls wrong.
No, this is so. I've got the quote here that the Callaway sales agent said when looking at the UV ball, the ball under the UV light. He says, "Wow, interesting. Because from my standpoint, it looks like a gigantic piece of mud is right there, right above where it says TaylorMade."
So they're essentially saying these clumps of paint essentially act like mud would do on the golf ball. And
Yeah.
if you hit a golf shot that should go straight, that mud, aka excess paint, would cause it to veer
But
offline.
it's also saying like the dimples aren't deeper.
Yeah.
Aren't as deep as they should be. So you remember years ago?
That's
it was
a big
actually
claim.
It was through COVID. Do you remember when Wilson brought out the ball that was not painted?
Where do we film it at?
Clitheroe, not Clitheroe, Wrexham Golf Club.
Correct. 2 points.
Because on the golf course in Wales were only open in England works. We had to drive over the border
It's the nearest golf course in Wales.
illegally. But we tested those golf balls, and it's very difficult to see any difference. It really is. And actually, the unpainted Wilson ball at the time really muddied up and dirtied. Weirdly,
It did.
much easier because it didn't have that gloss finish. So in a weird way, when it's unpainted, it actually weirdly gets more mud on it, so it goes against it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This isn't the case. This is saying that both balls have been painted, but Callaway are saying that their paint distribution on the ball is more evenly spread because of their processes, and TaylorMade's aren't.
I don't want to get too much into it.
No, we're in now.
Oh, we're in.
We're
but
in. We're quite literally balls deep right now.
But TaylorMade says it bears no meaningful relationship to ball flight, distance, playability, or other performance attributes. So
what's going to happen, Ben?
I don't know what normally happens with all this stuff.
There has been many instances over the years where companies sue companies, definitely. Like, and you know, I remember when PXG first hit the scene, there was massive uproar. Like, there was companies trying to sue them. Titleist obviously sued Kirkland Signature golf balls. It's happened a hell of a lot. I'm trying to think of more examples. Guy, have you got any?
Do they fade away? Do they like the fade away, or do they keep bubbling over time?
I think these things are often bigger stories naturally within the industry than they are for the consumer, because imagine if you do work for TaylorMade and you're quite senior, or any TaylorMade member of staff for a matter of fact, and you hear another brand essentially slandering your product, your hard work, something that you're very passionate about. And I obviously used to work for a brand, and you do become a bit of a cult following. When you work for one brand, you do start to believe that you are part of the best brand in the world and everything you do is great. So they've probably taken them to court for whatever reason. Whether it actually reaches the kind of general public and actual golfers learn about these paint markings and if they make a difference or not, I don't know.
It's good though.
It's really good.
I actually really like it.
Yeah, I like a bit of drama.
Can I give you a positive little angle then for TaylorMade? Something they've got good.
Sure.
So it's no secret to everyone listening that Scottie Scheffler is a good golfer.
He's all right.
He's quite good at golf, isn't he?
Not bad.
He has absolutely started off this season like he means to go on, and I think he's going to have a very dominant season.
Imagine if he had a 100% win rate.
If anyone's going to do it, it will be Scottie Scheffler.
Imagine if he just played every tournament and won every tournament.
What consistent thing then, now that he has hit 20 PGA Tour wins, unless you can see my laptop, don't cheat, what's the one consistent, do you think, between all of those wins?
I know the answer.
That he's done.
Yeah, that he's something about his, I don't want to give it away.
Well, we're obviously talking about equipment.
Correct.
And I would guess, but you in a weird way, you said a positive for TaylorMade. Is this a positive or is it a negative for TaylorMade?
I think it's a positive.
All right.
Well, you might.
My guess was he's always used a Pro V1.
He has always used a Pro V1, but I guess there's different iterations as well.
Yeah.
There?
But as in, like, that's not a win for TaylorMade.
That's not a win for TaylorMade.
You know, it's not putter.
Obviously, yeah, he's switched the putter.
I mean, that is positive for TaylorMade, coming out of a Scottie
Also,
into a Spider.
Very true.
What a stupid decision by Rory to recommend that to him, by the way. He was one of the people that said to Scottie, try this putter, I think you'll like it. He did, and now he's just...
I can't think of the consistent thing equipment-wise.
It's quite boring, admittedly.
Well, you go through the
Irons,
bag.
wedges.
Irons, you've hit the nail on the
you
head.
said it.
So the story is, for every single win, for those 20 wins, Scottie has had in the bag the P7TW. For those listening, I'm sure you already know. If you don't know, it's not rocket science. The P7TW is named after Tiger Woods. Named after Tiger Woods. They are the irons that he obviously designed, that everything he likes about those irons is what came into the iron. And apparently, it was a bit of the story was that Scottie and Tiger played in the final round of the 2020 Masters together. And after Scottie witnessing Tiger's ball striking firsthand, literally with him, he said, I need to try those irons. So it goes to show that even these elite golfers get inspired by someone else to play with who's hitting the golf ball well.
Equipment envy.
Exactly. Yeah. He was, at the time, in the P730s, which were those kind of first nice P blades, if you remember, with the kind of cutaway through the back. He then went into the P7TWs and has absolutely fallen in love with them, clearly. The other quite nerdy thing, but again, this is a hit podcast, before going into the P730s, before going to the P7TWs with the P730s, he was using an inch longer in length, but then he got them chopped down by 3/4 of an inch. So now they're essentially a quarter of an inch longer than standard, but a bit more upright. And that has obviously worked for him.
Wow.
So that's quite, again, it's quite nerdy, but that's quite a big change in terms of that length difference, but going to that different blade. But he has obviously found a set of irons there that absolutely work for him. I can't really imagine a time he will replace them. I'm sure he will at some point in his career. But they're now 6 years in his golf bag. You think, well, us mere mortals looking at new irons every year, every couple of years, it just shows, find something that works, get them fitted correctly.
Don't change
stick with it. Exactly.
Well, if Scottie needs a set of irons and TaylorMade stop making them, I still have a brand new, never touched, never opened set of TaylorMade P7TWs. So if Scottie wants to come here to Salford and make me an offer. Make me an offer.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 5 to 10 mil.
Are you sure they're still in the office? They've not been relocated to someone's house?
I need to put them in a safe.
Just quickly,
What's interesting there, though, Scottie's using them, Tiger's using them, Tommy Fleetwood was using them for a long time. I actually played with Sam Horsfield when I was away in Orlando. He's using them. So actually a lot of players use these. And if you remember correctly, when Justin Rose got to world number 1, was it 2016, he kind of fell out with TaylorMade a little bit because they wouldn't almost make him a proto JR irons, where they were making DJ a set, they were making Tiger a set.
Tommy's had a set as well, TS, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of the fallout between Justin Rose and TaylorMade at the time was that, you know, they weren't potentially willing to put JR on a set of irons.
Well, bigger question for you then, although I'm kind of massively bigging up the P7TWs there, with obviously the fact that Rory's now got into your irons, the P7CBs that you was inspired heavily by you in your hit video, so we sort of give them a go. Are we going to see, quite literally in the next few years, the death of the bladed iron? Because it's surely not going to be around for much longer.
Yes. I've said it.
I won't be surprised.
The other thing I'm thinking, why don't I go in the storeroom, unbox the set of TaylorMade irons and put them in my bag? What am I using the wrong iron?
Yes. You need to change.
The thing with Rory, he's played the 2 rounds in Dubai, or the 2 tournaments in Dubai. He's not played obviously since. Are they going to stay in the bag? Because was it the Friday of the first Dubai event? Did he lose like 6 balls in the water? Wow. He absolutely had a nightmare that day. And a lot of iron shots found the water. So I was expecting the very next day him never to see those irons ever again. But I don't know if he continued using them, but we will see. I don't think the blades are going to go anywhere. There's always a place in people's heart for a blade. And certainly for the elite of the elite, they're still going to be around.
Do you feel like, off the back of Scottie's early success this year and the fact that the QI 4D driver looked pretty good this year, and you've obviously tried it and it seems to perform really well, is this a year for TaylorMade? Which brand would you two both say this year then is going to kind of win brand of the year, so to speak? Because driver launch is obviously the big time of the year. We've just had that now, and then actually seeing those products come out onto market, seeing the tour pros using them and how dominant they may or may not be with them. What are your 2 hunches of which brand will have a really, really solid year?
You know what's interesting? It takes us back around to newly released, and I'm seeing a lot of hype on social media. Wilson.
Wow.
Have you seen the new Wilson irons?
They look phenomenal.
They look phenomenal, and the reviews so far, and a review will be coming to hit soon. The reviews have been outstanding so far, but obviously, are they going to win hit awards, best irons of the year?
I doubt it. I mean, they are amazing. I've always been a huge fan of Wilson irons. I think overall, it's typically a battle between TaylorMade and Callaway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like TaylorMade and Titleist and Ping don't get into the fight. Like, they seem to kind of do what they want to do, but...
Is that because they're less almost marketing machines,
yeah.
you think?
Let's be honest, TaylorMade and Callaway are marketing machines, aren't they?
Certainly, both of them, but certainly TaylorMade, I feel like, really are.
Where you look at Titleist and Ping, and they just do their job, don't they? And I think, deep down, if you really probably consistently over the last 20 years, which brand has won, probably Titleist has won probably over the time frame. It's just that they don't make as much of a song and dance about it. But I think it would be hard to look past any of the brands, really. As an overall... This is another thing, I was just trying to find an email, then you might be able to find it, Guy. When TaylorMade emailed over the weekend or on the Monday, Scottie Scheffler wasn't using the latest driver.
Good question.
He's gone back, hasn't he?
Back to
I've seen that on social media.
35 or the 10?
I think he's gone back to the QI 10.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting seeing Scottie. We got an email on Monday. We typically do after a player wins. And I'll be interested to see what the lineup of clubs have there, because how these brands work, and we've talked about it on the podcast in the past, they will often advertise the products that is definitely used that's new, but kind of overlook some of the product that is older.
I've got it here now. So the email, and it takes you to TaylorMade's tour website, says New Year, same Scottie, which is fair enough, isn't it? So let's have a quick look.
And they'll always open the subject on like, Scottie wins with brand new Pro V1, but will they say, oh, he's gone back to the QI10, by the way?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, he's got the Spider. That's kind of that's been huge for his game. I think the great thing with the Spider puts of a TaylorMade is it's very obvious to look at. So when a golfer uses a certain brand of golf ball, like a lot of golfers might not even know that Scottie Scheffler uses a Pro V1, because you see TaylorMade, you see Nike SUES, you don't even know. Spider putters on the green are kind of so iconic. He's got the QI 4D 7 wood. He's got the P7 TW irons we've mentioned. He's got the QI 10 driver. So that's now 2 models old. QI 10 3 wood. And it doesn't mention his wedges because they're the Vokeys, I believe. But you think, like, with golf brands, they obviously want to leverage these athletes who they pay millions of dollars to promote their brand, to use their clubs, and to almost cement their brand as being a real, proper performance gear. But because they bring stuff out every single year, literally every January, TaylorMade will have a new driver, as with Callaway. It is hard for these guys to swap. They're not playing just for a laugh, and they're not playing to have the fancy gear to show off to their friends. They're playing for multi-million dollars, and then beyond that, they're playing for prestige and for wins. They want a golf club they put behind the ball that they feel truly confident with. If the new version, for whatever reason, doesn't quite feel the same, whether it's just a bit of the look of it, whether it's the paintwork, whether it's something, they're not going to use it. And it is a kind of risk that the brands do, I guess, having this out every single year. And you could almost go the opposite way and question, if the players do play them and swap them happily every January, does that mean that actually they're not changing at all and they're almost too similar?
That's what I thought.
Or do they not care enough also?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because I was thinking, we talked about Scottie using those P7 TWs for such a long time. Like, if you're comfortable with a driver, I think it's a bit overrated when people, like, hype up that, he's taken the new driver out the bag and he's gone back to the QI10. Like, if you're comfortable with it, you're comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like even if something new comes out and say it goes a bit longer, it, like, doesn't matter if it goes a bit longer and a bit straighter and you're not quite comfortable with it. Surely you want to be standing on the tee with something you're more comfortable with at the end of the day.
I'd agree. I think what brands have done a better job of recently, though, is I felt like there was very much a time, and probably still in this time a little bit now, where brands heavily promote the new driver with said athlete. But I think over the last few years, because some of the big brands have kept their big players for longer, the average golfer on the street, or the average golfer at the golf club, if you said to them, what brand does Rory play? They're going to say TaylorMade. They might not know exactly what driver he's got. They don't even know what the driver's called this year. He's not that into it, but they just know he uses TaylorMade. So I think a bit like, with F1, and I know Hamilton's obviously moved, but he was at Mercedes for so long, and now he's obviously at Ferrari. I know the cars changed, but whatever. But like, I think it's having that stable of athletes who, Ronaldo is Nike and Messi is Adidas, and that will probably always be the same. I know it's football boots is a bit different. But because they've built these real strong franchises now, does it really matter, I suppose, to them, actually, if he doesn't use the latest gear, as long as people know him as being a TaylorMade player? Is that the bigger play? Not sure.
Yeah, it probably is, Probably is. People we know, the general public won't know as much. What else on the agenda, Ben?
PGA show? Shall we have a little chit-chat about that?
Love to.
My first time. I was going to say my PGA show virginity, but I didn't know if I should say that.
Your podcast.
I was obviously warned by you guys and the boys who have been before that it's very big. You're going to do a lot of steps. You're going to be very busy. And I think you're right. That's basically what it was. I didn't know what to expect. And we had some, before we even got there, we had such crazy stories from it. We were a bit late already. That we didn't understand how crazy the parking situation was, how long it was going to take to get there. We got there and we got in like a rickshaw. A rickshaw. And we were like, yeah, we're jumping there. And, we're late.
Story.
No.
So we had this meeting at 9 and we left with like an hour to go, and it took us ages and ages and ages and ages to get there. And we pulled into the car park at 8:54, and it was about a 15-minute walk. And we're going, oh no, our first time at the PGA show, our first meeting with a client, and we're going to be late, and we're going to miss it. And I was like, I hate being late. I didn't want to do that at all. So all of a sudden, this rickshaw pulls up, music playing. They're like, anyone need a lift? Yeah. They're dropping all these people off, thinking, you beauty, that will do us. Me and Leo jump in, and he goes, you happy with the price? And I'm like, oh yeah, $12 a minute. I was like, great, it'll be a couple minutes, it'll cost nothing. So he's flying along, absolutely sending it.
Look at Rick's face here, he's loving it. He's like, what, being late?
Oh. This story is right on my street. I'm actually proud of you for this story. You have encapsulated what we do here in the company.
A true RS spirit.
You have genuinely nailed it.
I feel like if we rocked up late, the guy would have been like, oh, that's all right, I wasn't getting there till 9:15 anyway.
Yeah, I had you in at 9, but really you're 9:15.
So this guy's absolutely, we told them, we're like, we need to be there for 9. So he's absolutely sending it around all these other rickshaws, around all the other people. And we get there, and we got 5 minutes. It literally took us 3 minutes to get there, and we're going, you beauty. So he like pulls out his phone to like take the payment, and I can see on the clock it's taken 3 minutes and 17 seconds. I'm like, beauty. I was like, oh, you take Apple Pay? He goes, yeah, mate. All of a sudden, $109
Wow.
flashes up on the screen for payment. I was like, oh boy. And I looked back down at the thing. For 2 people, it's like $18 per person per minute.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
Yeah, it
think
would be
that
about
maths-
right.
I
It does.
£36 a minute. $36 a minute.
Yeah.
Could be about right.
And we're like, oh my goodness. So we paid that and we're like, oh man, here we go. Welcome to the PGA show. So we stroll into our meeting. Oh, g'day. Sorry, we're late. Well, we made it on time, but hey, going, da-da-da. So we didn't actually go. So we're inside the convention center, not inside the PGA show. So there's a bit of like cafes and little things you can get food from.
Like the concourse.
Yeah, the
before you go
concourse.
in.
So we're having a meeting. I think I can say who with. It's an upcoming review with Hack Motion. So we're chatting to Hack Motion to do a review on the channel. And we're sat in this, and behind the guy from Hack Motion is like a little restaurant, and they've got some like meat, rotating on that. What's it called? Like rotisserie, right? And it's spinning away, and it's like a gentle like flame underneath it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like weird that no one's like kind of around, like keeping an eye on this. So as we're chatting away, like, oh yeah, we'd love to get Hack Motion on. It starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, this flame. And genuinely, this flame is 10 foot high, massive, and no one in sight. And everyone, all of it, it's making an absolute racket. I've never heard fire sound so loud. And everyone's kind of looking around going like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden it just gets too high, sets off all the sprinklers in the restaurant.
What?
All the fire alarms start going off at the PGA show. And we're going, this is the craziest start we could have ever imagined. So
Did you get wet then?
we didn't get wet. It was like in their little stall,
okay.
like their restaurant. So all this like meat they were cooking for the day just got absolutely drenched.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully we didn't have to evacuate or anything, but we were like, oh, welcome to the PGA show. We're here, baby.
That just set the scene, didn't it? Really?
It set the scene.
And what was it? So I've never actually been to the PGA show, so you've obviously been before me, and you've experienced that in real life, and that start does sound quite chaotic. But what was it like? Obviously, I know the sound of all the big brands there, or most of the big brands are there. There is kind of gimmicky brands. There's all sorts of kind of random stuff. I've seen obviously a couple of the videos you've made, which are really good. You did very well,
Thank you.
by the way. What was your takeaway from it?
It was incredible, really incredible. Firstly, I want to say I'm disappointed that TaylorMade don't show up. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that they don't show up.
Was there a spell around 2018 when a lot of the brands started not doing it? It became cool almost. I think TaylorMade, I think Nike at the time, when they were still doing a lot in golf, pulled out. I think even Callaway may have done one year.
Yeah, obviously the PGA show has been going on for donkey's years. And I think my first year going was 2015, and I was blown away. And that first year when I went to the demo day, because you didn't not talk about demo day, obviously it's massive circular driving range, and all the brands line up around this circular driving range. When I went in 2015, there wasn't a gap. Like there was no gap between stalls, and you had everybody. And I was obviously on the kind of newish on my YouTube journey. I ran around there with a video camera, filming as much as I could, and it was a great experience. I come from there going, wow, that was amazing. I remember going back the next year and thinking, oh, it seems a bit sparse. Like it feels a little like it already has lost a bit of magic. And I think maybe a couple of years after that, or maybe a year after that, TaylorMade pulled out. And I think once TaylorMade pulled out, it really kind of everyone else almost stopped trying. Do you get what I mean? Because it is really a big anatomy measuring competition.
Yeah, it is.
Shaft length.
Measuring competition. Yes.
If you thought it was sparse in the years before, you should have seen it this year. Well,
I went not last year, but the year before. And I must admit, I looked at the demo day going, what's the point in this now? Like this, they might as well just do it at half.
Well, that's what I actually don't understand what the driving range is for, because if you are a PJ Pro, you've probably had the reps come to your golf shop anyway already.
And the thing is as well, the people, I thought, whatever you can do there, you can do at the convention. So if people don't know, on the side of the convention, down one end, is like all these manufacturers, not everyone, like for example, like Mizuno and Ping, I think you could hit on demo day, but you couldn't hit them at the convention center, but you could hit Cobra, etc. So yeah, okay, I get that part. But a lot of the stuff we saw was also at the convention center. But apparently there was this huge gap at one end of the circular driving range. And we're like, oh, we're chatting to Mizuno, and we're like, oh, why is that big gap there? And they said, oh, it was for Titleist, but none of their clubs showed up.
Wow.
So there was a huge gap. like, I don't know if that's true, but blame Mizuno, but this huge gap, took almost nearly half the driving range. It was just empty because they went, oh, guess none of our clubs are shut up. We'll pack up and go home.
It's
Wow.
obviously the heritage of it going back before the internet and before any of this going on. Demo day would have been a great opportunity for, like you say, PGA Pros, certainly in America,
Yeah, absolutely.
to go try the new gear to do their orders for the next year.
Well, you can imagine it, can't you? Me and you are two club pros based down in South Florida or whatever. You
I was Nevada.
You're Nevada. I'm Texas.
You work for Callaway. Don't forget. You're
I've
Brian.
I've quit.
Oh, okay.
I got fired.
Okay.
They
That
thought,
UV light.
well, yes. But you could a couple of the buddies would travel up together in a car or whatever, stay in a local hotel. I'm sure they have a few drinks or whatever while they're there. But you'd go in, you'd see all the brands, you'd see the new product that you might have seen in a magazine, but you wouldn't have seen digitally because there was obviously no internet or whatever. And you'd say, right, you might have a meeting with one of the reps. Say, right, Colin, how's business? Yeah, great, thanks. This is our new driver, the Callaway ERC. It's got this face. How many do you want? Well, I'll have 5 in regular, 5 in stiff, and then we'll minimum orders this. And you'd do your business, I guess, wouldn't it? That was the point of it.
That's the whole point. And to be fair, even then, why the reason it was in January, and this is where I actually think the PGA Show is at completely the wrong time of year, and I've got a theory on how it can be fixed. Whether it will do, I'm not sure. But it was often before anybody would even see product. Like this was before, and a lot of brands would launch product there.
Show.
Like their embargo was at the show, and brands still do it. Like the Titleist Vokey wedges, their embargo lifted demo day, so people are, oh right, it's the first time people take pictures, videos, etc. now. So the demo day is definitely on. For me, it's a glimmer of what it used to be, and I don't think I even saw it in the heyday. I think I saw that one year in 2015, which was pretty awesome, but I think probably even 2 or 3 years before that, it was much, much even better than that. The next day, then I think it's 3 days. So Tuesday's the demo day.
Yep.
And then you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the days at the convention center. And it's massive, Guy. It's hard to explain
ridiculous.
how big it actually is. Bigger than Trafford Centre?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably about same size.
I'd say no.
Oof.
But one level. The ground,
It's long.
I would say footprint-wise, it's not far off.
It's so big.
Well, you were doing 17 to 18,000 steps a day just at the convention centre.
And I don't think I even went end to end, like doing that. That's like in the middle bits, going back and forth in the middle bits. You can go, like, I couldn't believe how big the clothing section is.
There's so many clothing
There's
brands.
so many, and not to be rude, but like, a lot of it is the same stuff. Like, how can you do clothes so different? And to give them such a big area is crazy, but yeah,
it
it's
does
massive.
make you think, and I think we talked about it, or maybe me and Ed talked about it because we kind of snuck in for 20 minutes to film a video. As we're walking out, it's like, it makes you think the golf industry is massive, but it's also weirdly small at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
It's dead weird. Like, you walk in that room, and every brand, bar a handful of there, they've all spent a fortune. It's really bloody expensive there to go and to exhibit. And some guys really put on a hell of a show. Like Callaway, when Callaway and TaylorMade were there, it was really a shaft measuring competition. Now TaylorMade's not there. Callaway still put on a pretty big show, but it's nowhere near as big as what it used to be, apparently. It costs them a fortune to exhibit there. And for me, the PGA show is flawed as it is currently right now. This is my proposal to the PGA show if you're watching.
I'm here for it.
For me, there needs to be 2 shows. Okay? You've got an industry show that takes place maybe September time. You get rid of you could maybe have the demo day, but it's a smaller. But it's maybe 2 days, demo day and convention center. You go, you do your business, you see your stuff.
Do your business.
And it's an industry-focused event. You see
I know what you're going to say, and I agree.
Embargo, you see everything that's ready for you. That's it. I think then you have one in March, April. Quite similar, demo day, maybe 2 or 3 days at the show over a weekend, and it's open to the public.
The punters.
But you can buy stuff.
Yep.
Like if you were a punter in there and it was March time and everywhere's getting nice and everywhere's getting sunny, and you would have a field day. You could blow some cash in there.
Because there's stuff you would like never see before, and you'd be like, wow, I love that. I'll take it.
Honestly, it would be incredible. Like, put it over a weekend, put it the week before the Masters or whatever it may be. It would kill it on numbers. And brands might go, well, but well, hold on a minute then. I'm exhibiting twice. I think the first one, the industry, you make your money back by pre-orders. The second one, you quadruple the amount of money you make by sales.
Absolutely.
Like, even have it ticketed. The convention center, it should be a $20 entry fee for the general public, but you don't charge the brands. The brands exhibit for free, potentially. I don't know how that would work. The customers pay $20 through the door to cover the costs. Brands would make a fortune in there.
Yeah. I'm sold. I'm in.
Anyway.
But yeah, look, it was amazing. We saw some great product. We saw the shot scope, obviously been talked about so much, £199 launch monitor. That'll be really interesting. Also the Garmin S82, launch data, GPS, putting strokes on the green, tempo, everything like that. Very cool. Also saw some interesting product. I think you guys spoke about it on Monday's episode. There is some, what's a nice word?
Naff, tat.
What are we talking about?
Crap at the PGA show.
Yeah, I think tat.
Tat's a good
The
word.
lead tape one I thought was ridiculous. That was like lead
the
tape.
magnets?
Yeah, that's just stupid. It's just fixing a problem that doesn't need fixing.
And I thought, like, you could just move it, right? If you were, like, pushing the ball, you'd just be like, oh, yeah, I'll just move that.
Well, that's
Help.
illegal. You can't do
exactly.
But at least lead tape, it's stuck on there.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
move. But anyway, I want to run you through some of the stuff that's maybe not made any of our videos from the PGA
Come
show.
on, finish some businesses, Ben.
Tag golf. What does tag golf sound like to you?
You hit a ball at each other and then you hit them, you're on.
Oh, please tell me that's it. Please tell me that's it.
Wrong. Tag golf get old ping bullseye putters and they turn them into zero torque putters using bullet casings
Well, this
full
did
of
feature.
tungsten weighting.
This did feature. We did the video on that.
When did we do a video on it?
You got me one.
Oh,
For the
yeah, it's in
bloody
your
video.
video. It's in your video. I was thinking about the hit video. Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. All right. You'll see it then. You'll see it very soon in your video. I
Yeah,
completely
we took
forgot
it
we
out
got
on
you
the
that
course.
putter. You've seen it. You've touched it.
You stitched me up with it. No, actually, it wasn't too bad. But it's a mad idea.
It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? And like you said earlier, they've paid a lot of money to be there. And like, what?
Yeah. This is what baffles me, where I have like equal levels of respect and equal levels of being perplexed by these people who plough lots of money, that's the hard-earned cash or loans, into building a business that's probably going to lose them a lot of money. And I kind of admire them, but I also feel sorry for them because a lot of these things won't take off. But then if they never try, they'll never actually scratch that itch, will they?
I absolutely get it. Like, I get it. If you had a cool golf invention, why wouldn't you want to be there and like show it to the world? But yeah, let me give you another one.
Go on.
Killer Golf. They make putters. Brand new. The day we saw them was their second day as a business. First day was at the demo day. Second day was at the first day at the PGA show. These guys make putters.
They're already in 20 grand's worth of debt.
Yeah. These guys make putters with attachments on the back of it.
Nonsense.
The first attachment we saw that caught my eye, a GoPro.
Love it.
You
GoPro
literally,
attachment.
like a screw on, and you screw it on, and
Love
it
it.
points the way the face is pointing.
Amazing.
The second one, they have a laser. It wasn't very good. Sorry, guys. The third one, which I think you'll love as well, it had like a little metal cylinder. So you had the face of the putter, and behind the face was a metal cylinder, and you basically get these really heavy poker chips. And you say to your mate, "Oh, mate, if you drain this, I'll, stick $200 on it." So you get your little metal poker chips, you stick them in the metal cylinder.
Absolute tat.
And then so now when you're hitting your putt for $200, you can see the physical $200 in poker chips looking up at you.
Rick's dead.
Killer Golf.
I would honestly. I mean, fair play. Fair play to these guys. Do you know what I mean? When I thought everything was covered, no.
So on the back of that, because I don't like...
The one that I saw was the squishy tees.
Yeah, Squishy Tees was fun. And that was cute. I've got time for that.
No.
And it was
Like
like,
the characters.
and
that
it's
are
like,
on-
it's just a tee with like a little squishy
Yeah.
characters, whatever. Look, I feel bad talking rubbish about
Yeah,
these brands.
But someone needs to.
They do.
Someone needs to give them a reality check.
Yeah.
Like, what are the family? What are the friends? What are the business partners saying to them?
I agree.
You know, Brian, you'd do something like this, Brian. I know you would. You've
Go
just
on.
left Callaway
Yeah.
because you think that
Well, I
A
got
putter.
pushed. I got pushed for
a putter with
Got pushed
poker
out.
chips,
Yeah.
and you're telling me, Rick, it's the next big
It
thing.
is. All these young kids
not,
now watching golf YouTube, they're like betting.
I'm not a friend of yours if I'm saying, Brian, I don't think it is, mate. Don't
Well,
think
I
it's
think
going
it
to
could
work.
do.
Brian, but how much is this going to cost you to go to the PGA show?
Well, I've paid 20 grand for that, and I've remortgaged the house, and I've put another 70 grand into it. That's all. Only 90 grand so far. Doreen's left me. She's taken the kids, but that's not going to stop me because I'll win her back.
You keep going, Brian.
I'll win a bat with these poker chips.
All or nothing.
So, to go against us chatting rubbish about these brands, I've got a challenge.
Go on.
Me and you, Guy,
Yeah.
to make sure the next episode comes out next Friday. Me and you.
Oh, I've done another one.
Me and you
Yeah.
are going to bring our best new golf invention
Oh, lovely.
to the podcast.
Okay.
And we're going to give our pitch on our invention.
We're actually inventing something.
We're going to invent. You're going to invent something. I'm going to invent
I feel like we
something.
need to put copyright on this just in case these ideas go.
I
And
won't
we're
get too excited.
Yeah. We're going to bring it to the podcast. I don't know who's going to decide what wins. Maybe whoever's
Audience.
the audience, maybe in the Facebook group,
Yeah.
and they can decide.
Love it. Is it going to be relatively realistic? So I don't want to say it's a driver that goes 5 million
Yes.
yards.
Really? Well, if you had to go to the let's say you're going to the PGA show
this is well,
2027
homework.
next week, next year you're going. So we need to come up with an
Imagine
invention.
Rick could like a drive with fins on it that's like more. Well, what about the more lofted? But
Yeah, I was going to say you're just going to do
That's-
lofted drivers.
That's
Game over.
yeah, I like that.
All right, we'll see you next week
Okay,
for that one.
great. Well, speaking of the Facebook group, nice little segue. We've asked for some questions on the Facebook group. We've got loads. We can only answer a few at the end of the podcast, but please do keep emailing us and sending in your questions. This is a fake name. It's Ron, as in Ron.
Okay.
Devu. So rendezvous.
Oh, nice.
But he said,
Creative.
what should you look for and focus on when looking for a new driver? I feel a lot of punters want distance, and I'm more on the dispersion side of things. Well, he's answered his own question there, really. He wants dispersion. One thing I massively think is important, this is my advice, and you might disagree, you guys, but I don't think you can overlook the looks of a driver. And by that, I mean, obviously a driver that you're attracted to, that you want to dance with, but one that makes you feel confident on the tee. And that's why for me, I'm now in the Ping 440k. I wasn't the 10k max. Hands up, I'm not the best driver in the world. That's no secret. However, I always look down at them and think, this for me is the best suited driver for me. Even if I hit a bad shot, I've got the right tool. And it is quite an important, nice feeling.
It's really important.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like if you don't, like say the Ping comes out and you're not a fan of the looks, but you're like, oh, everyone keeps talking about how straight it is and it's the most forgiving driver ever. If you just buy it for the sake of it, I feel like you're just not going to be.
They talk about
that into it.
relationships a lot. There's got to be a spark. You've
It
got
does.
to find that person attractive to have any sort of future. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't, on first sight, you don't think, oh, there's a bit of a spark there. It's not going to massively grow on you if I was going to say something really bad there.
I've had a
If
few.
it's good in other departments.
Well, see, I've
Doesn't know.
had a few short-term affairs with TaylorMade. I've had an M2 and M5, and it looks great. Performs great in bed.
That's the line I was going down, but I was like, I can't. It's a family-friendly show.
But then on the golf course, where the personality really matters and that long-term commitment, that trust is the big thing that relationship is built on. It's just not there. Whereas for me, the Ping, it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit more, maybe not quite as pretty. But personality-wise and trust, it's there.
Exactly.
So another question from Zach Bird. Quite a good name.
They're great names.
Would you call him Birdie or just go with Zach?
Yeah, if he was Aussie, he'd be Birdie.
Birdie. How much do shafts really change how different clubs perform? Testing the same irons with different launching shafts and graphite versus steel, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And flight, and he's asked about weight and flex. Simple analogy, I would say, flex. Shafts do matter, and an obvious reason I'll give for that, if we're going stupidly silly with it, Ben's 6'6". If I gave him a golf club that is designed for my daughter who's 3, the first thing to notice is how small it is. And the reason it's small is because the shaft is so much shorter. So shaft length obviously matters drastically. And weight does as well, because if you give someone who's not very strong a very, very heavy, really strong, heavy shaft, they're not going to be able to swing it very well and get the most of the golf club. So it does matter. However, when you start getting into the intricate details of like a stock Callaway driver in stock stiff versus stock regular, I don't think there's that much difference personally. And partly why is the tolerances. If you think about the shafts that these brands are making or having in their clubs, they obviously are good shafts, but they're coming off a conveyor belt. And one regular might be quite a stiff regular, and then one stiff might be quite a weak stiff. So actually, although they've got different letters on them, they're probably going to be quite similar. So it's not always the be-all and end-all, but to a degree, it definitely matters.
Yeah, I've never been a big shaft orad. Like, I can't, out of all the things that I test, whether it comes to the feel of a golf club, the loft, the line go, I feel like I'm so much more fine-tuned to that. When it comes to the shaft, I'm never that fine-tuned with it. I must admit, though, saying all that, the shaft I've been using more recently, the Fujicore Aventus, I've really bloody like that. And we're actually doing our best to make that our stock shaft that we review drivers in, right, Ben?
Absolutely. That's something we want to do going forward, is having a load of Fujicore 6X shafts in every brand. I
do feel that shaft is very stable, but if you blindfolded me, would I know? Probably not. It's a weird... It's given me that trust that when I look, I'm like, okay, that shaft's there for me. I like this shaft.
That's the word again, though, isn't it? Trust. It's even... I think there's two things with golf that are massively important. There's the actual club being correct for you in terms of, like, how you deliver the golf club and things like that, which is important. But there's also that trust element as well. And if you trust a golf club, I think it massively, massively helps. I
think from, like, my experience in terms of, you know, not knowing a whole lot about shafts and quite new to the game, I feel like there's two parts to it. There's one, if you, like, notice a shaft in terms of, like, when you're swinging it, and I feel like you're taking notice of, like, how a shaft reacts in terms of, like, it's too wobbly or whatever, I feel like, okay, then you can look at it. But as soon as you're in, like, the right flex, I feel like, because people like me who swing different almost every swing, it feels like, you know, it's not that repetitive in terms of our swing, that being so dialed. It's like there's not anything in it, is it really? Like, it's, unless you're so drilled in on your swing and you know exactly what, like, I don't know what I'm really talking about here, but, like, in terms of, like, your kick point and, like, you know, your tip and everything like that, you know, it doesn't really mean a whole lot, does it?
Broader question on that, though, and this is one for Rick. When you hear mid-handicap golfers, I know Ben's off 9, but mid-handicap golfers, average golfers, or even high-hand golfers,
you're
almost...
off 9?
Well, new handicap system.
That really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I've been grinding.
They often say this thing about, which Ben just said, kind of almost being humble, that, you know, my swing's not repeatable. Now, we often think that because the results of what we shoot on the golf course can vary so much, and, you know, Ben himself might be able to break 80 quite comfortably, then he might shoot 87 and think, what's going on this week? But actually also a lot of mid-handicappers or high-handicappers have a set bad shot, whether it's a huge slice or whatever it might be. So there must be some level of repeatability in the golf swing to see the same bad shot all the time.
Definitely, and I feel like there's different swings. I would say if you're early in your development, your swing's a little bit like Play-Doh that's not set or concrete that's not set, and it can manipulate and you can move it. Like, moving your swing is fairly easy. Like, moving your swing, guy, is very much harder because it's so much more set.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately.
I think there's for newer golfers, their swing can vary and change, not day to day and not swing to swing, but it can do. Where yours and my swings that have been, you know, 30 odd years of playing golf, it's not easy then to change it. Of course. So I think it can vary, but you're right. The same problematic shot might come in. Where Ben might be able to fix it quicker, but then introduce a newer problematic shot. We're just trying to fix that problematic shot to turn it into a better shot, really.
Good advice. 2 more questions before we wrap it up. One from Chris Lewis says, and I've got an idea for this, and you guys might agree with me, you might have something different, but he said, what is the best forgiving iron set that has little to no offset? All forgiving clubs I've seen have far too much offset for me. Now, the one that came straight to my mind, it looks very expensive, is the new Cobra 3D printed irons, because that forgiving one, the chunkier one of the 3 or whatever, looks behind the ball like a player's club, but is forgiving.
Yeah. Expensive.
And it's only $3,000.
Yeah, only.
I would say the other ones as well, they're getting a lot of love at the moment. Tacomos.
Yeah.
I think is it the 101Ts?
Yep.
I think the 101s, they're pretty
not the Ts.
Yeah, they're pretty forgiving and they don't have an awful lot of offset. So they're definitely ones to consider. I think that both of those recommendations, though, were probably terrible recommendations because neither of them can you actually see much before you buy them.
That's very true.
Tacomos, you bring direct to consumer, and those 3D printed, I can't imagine they're going to be in every pro shop around the country.
I feel like Callaway are very offsetty.
Yeah.
Well, they're like
wants to avoid a Callaway, definitely.
Ping can be in the chunkier
Ping
ones
are definitely
as well.
more offset. I TaylorMade do quite a good job of not making them too offset, but you're right. I think Ping and Callaway were the ones to avoid.
T350s.
Yeah, they're nice irons. I think it's certainly a category that's opening up more now. I think there's this renaissance last few years of forgiving irons that don't have to look ugly. The brands are realising actually people want nice looking irons, and whether that's because people are posting more on social media, sharing the golf clubs, maybe, I don't know. That, you know, the higher handicapper who isn't the best iron player doesn't want a big ugly looking golf club. Still want to aspire to look good in the golf bag. And to be fair, it's easier to spend cash if you love the look of something. So, and last question I've got, this is a bit more of a nerdy one, hence the point of this podcast and the hit episode, from Mark Simpson. I think it's Bart's brother. That was terrible.
Oh dear.
Couldn't, as I said it, as it was even starting to come out, I couldn't even reel it in. I do apologise.
Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, that was dreadful. Sorry, Mark. With adjustable fairway woods, if I wanted a 4-wood, would it be better to get a 3-wood and then loft it up, or go with a 5-wood and loft it down? So my take on this, it's a bit nerdy, would be probably determined of what your bad shot would be. So if you got a 5-wood and lofted it down, it would actually open the face, although you might think it's the opposite, that's what it would do. And if you lofted up a 3-wood, it would slightly shut the face. You're also going to get a slightly shorter shaft in the 5-wood as well, which normally is better for control. So I'd probably say, think about where your bad shot goes and maybe try them out. However, for that little bit shorter shaft and maybe better strike, maybe go 5-wood.
So
aren't 5-wood heads smaller than 3-wood heads?
Well, that's another thing. It's going to be a bit smaller. So if you're going to play out on the rough more, might help as well. For most golfers, the way game I used to fit back in the day, I actually preferred people not to have it. If they're only going to have a wood, I would have 5-wood over 3-wood because you just hit it better for most people.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Loft is your friend. So going on that point from Guy, if you are more of a fader of the golf ball, you might be better off going 5-wood and cranking it. No, the other way around. Yeah, 3-wood and cranking it up. And if you are a drawer of the golf ball, you might be going 5-wood and cranking it down.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I will do my best to be here on Friday. If I'm not, the boys will give you a cracking episode, and I can't wait to hear their incredible inventions.
Will you listen if you're not? Be honest. Because when I'm not on it, I never ever listen.
You do listen.
I unsubscribe.
You listen, you read through all the comments. I will endeavour to do my best.
We'll say a secret code in the podcast, and then we'll know if Rick's listened or not.
Okay. Shit. Right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.